Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I am Gloria Atta. Welcome. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has said that plans are in motion to fire the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, from the party. The party, through its Deputy National Publicity Secretary, Ibrahim Abdullahi, said that a committee has already been put in place to review alleged anti-party activities committed by the FCT minister. According to Abdullahi, many people in the PDP now believe that the party would be better without the former governor of Rivers State. He said that the party was ready to deal with anyone who clogs its progress, adding that such individuals are better out of the party. Victory is sweet when the journey has been tough. This sweetness apparently made Comrade Philip Shaibu recollect with nostalgia what happened exactly 1 year ago when Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja reinstated him as Deputy Governor of Edo State, overturning what he called an illegal impeachment attempt by the State House of Assembly. To mark the anniversary, Shaibu, now Director General of the National Institute for Sports, addressed journalists in Benin, reflecting on what he described as one of the darkest chapters in Edo's democratic journey. Shaibu described his removal as a politically motivated power play, allegedly engineered by Governor Godwin Obaseki. He praised the judiciary for standing firm. In a release signed by his media aide, Ben Ogbemudia, and made available to Clearview News Desk, Shaibu said that judgment was a beacon of hope which proved that democracy, though fragile, can prevail when truth and justice are upheld. Recalling the events of 2024, Shaibu lamented the legislator's role, accusing it of being reduced to a rubber stamp for personal interests. Shaibu used the occasion to call on Nigerians, politicians, civil servants, and citizens alike to remain vigilant in defending democratic values, adding that democracy only thrives when no one is above the law and when power is treated as a public trust and not a personal entitlement. Meanwhile, the Defense Headquarters has dismissed claims by the Turkish ambassador-designate to Nigeria, Mehmet Poroy, of an existing terrorist group in the country, noting that Nigeria remains an independent nation capable of making its own decisions, particularly on security and counter-terrorism matters. According to the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kanye, at a briefing with journalists on Thursday in Abuja, the Defense Headquarters does not recognize the claims as official or verified.
As far as Defense Headquarters is concerned, it's an unofficial pronouncement. As everybody is free to say whatever you want to say, there's freedom of information. And don't also forget that there are so many forces working against us as we continue to fight this terrorism. So that one, that has not been in our knowledge. The other terrorist group you're talking about.
His statement is coming on the heels of recent comments by the Turkish government alleging that members of a group designated as the Fethullah Terrorist Organization, FETO, are operating in Nigeria under the guise of educational and healthcare institutions. Recall that the Turkish ambassador-designate to Nigeria, at a dinner to mark Turkey's Democracy and National Unity Day, claimed that FETO still has an active presence in the country, while urging Nigerian authorities to remain vigilant and cautious. General Kanye, however, cautioned against accepting unverified foreign narratives, especially those that may undermine national integrity or incite suspicion. Speaking further on operational successes of troops in the last 1 week, the defense spokesman revealed that troops of Operation Safe Haven rejected a bribe from terrorists during an operation in Plateau State, while restating the armed forces' commitment to troops' welfare and professionalism, regardless of false narratives being peddled on social media.
On 19 July, our gallant troops intercepted a vehicle with bullet holes along Jos Sanga Road. Suspect attempted to induce troops with monetary gratification while the troops declined. Troops arrested 2 suspects, recovered weapons and ammunition, a vehicle and the sum of 13,742,000 naira from them. Investigation ongoing while items recovered in troops' custody. There are many soldiers that have gone to social media, took to social media handles and start talking some things about the armed forces of Nigeria, be it the Navy, Air Force, Army, and even other. It also happened in other agencies. There are some that are dissatisfied with what they feel it should be. There are some of these soldiers that have committed offenses at the front line. And once disciplinary action is taken against them, and the outcome of the disciplinary action is unfavorable to them, they can go about saying certain things that are untoward towards the system, which is not right. And you have had so many of such misguided soldiers going to social media to say some things that are not true. If a commander is given resources to conduct this operation and take care of his men, the commander on his own cannot do all this without the men. The commander cannot do it alone without the serviceability of the equipment under his command. And so he must use those resources to maintain those equipment so that the troops can use them. And of course, the troop cannot go and fight on an empty stomach. For a soldier to say they are changing them, how? Did he elaborate on in which form they are being changed? How is he changed? Did they give them money to share and they gave him less money? Every soldier is given his operational allowance and it is known to all of them. All the soldiers are fed centrally in the theater. And I don't think they will cook meal and then give to some soldiers and refuse to give to others. It cannot happen that way.
Nigeria's federal government has told the Federal High Court in Abuja that the threat by Biafra Nation agitator Nnamdi Kanu to break up the country and establish a Republic of Biafra was not a mere empty threat, but a deliberate one. The government said that the detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, made a broadcast on Biafra radio station where he openly and publicly declared his intention to break up Nigeria. Responding to a no-case application made by Kanu on Friday, the federal government's lawyer, Chief Adegboyega Awomolo San, said that the broadcast by Kanu caused Nigerians to live in great fear. The senior lawyer told Justice James Omotosho to reject the claims of Kanu that he had no case to answer in the 7-count terrorism charges brought against him by the federal government. Awomolo argued that boasting to break up Nigeria is a fundamental security issue for the nation and as such should not be considered an empty threat as claimed by Kanu. 5 years after the death of the first female combat helicopter pilot in Nigeria, late Tolulope Arotile, her father, Arotile, has expressed dissatisfaction with the way and manner authorities of the Nigerian Air Force handled the case tied to the death of his daughter. Pa Arotile made the disclosure during a Thanksgiving memorial service at the Methodist Church in Lokoja to mark the 5th-year remembrance of late Tolulope, who died in active service in the Nigerian Air Force. The report.
Born on December 13, 1995 in Kaduna, Tolulope Arotile, a flying officer in the Nigerian Air Force, was Nigeria's first female combat helicopter pilot. The late Tolulope Arotile was winged as Nigeria's first female combat helicopter pilot on October 15, 2019, and flew combat missions against Boko Haram terrorists, receiving commendations from then-President Muhammadu Buhari for her bravery and skill. Tolulope Arotile died on July 14, 2020, at the age of 24 due to head injuries sustained in an accident at the Nigerian Air Force Base in Kaduna. According to reports, the incident involved a reversing vehicle driven by a former classmate. After the incident, groups such as Afenifere and Akpapo Oodua Koya questioned the official explanation of the accident and demanded thorough investigation into the circumstances of her death, with some describing it as suspicious. The case was in court as of July 2021, with Arotile's sister seeking justice. 5 years on, the late Tolulope's parents, family and friends gathered at the Methodist Church in Lokoja for a Thanksgiving memorial service. Late Tolulope's father, Arotile, says he is still not satisfied with the authorities' handling of the case related to the death of his daughter, who contributed significantly to combat operations against insurgency in northern Nigeria.
I'm not happy with even the Air Force as an institution. I'm not happy with them at all. But look, the case when she died, it was in broad daylight. You understand? She was knocked down by a car in broad daylight at the premise of the Air Force Base in Kaduna. She's supposed to be protected, she was not. When it became a court case, I said, okay, well, let's see whether we'll be able to see justice. Till today, nothing. That boy was not jailed. The case it was not concluded up to now. So it's for me, I'm still as bitter as ever. I'm not happy with them at all.
Late Tolulope's father and other family members, however, expressed gratitude to God for the impact made by their late daughter in the few years she lived on earth.
Every morning she wakes me up as early as 6 a.m. for prayers, morning prayers. Then she will pray for me, give me words of advice and encouragement. That's number one. And it's difficult to summarize her. She's just unique in so many ways.
And when she was on the operations and everything, when we tell her, Tolulope, be careful. He said, there's nothing I can do. My office asked me to go. And the next for me is to go. The only thing is for you to just pray for me.
A great loss to the community, to the states and Nigeria, even to the entire world.
In his message during the memorial service, Prophet Michael Lawal spoke about the late Tolulope as a lover of God and the significant contributions she made in the country while fighting terrorism as a pilot of a combat jet.
It was too wonderful, and it's a lady that knows her onions very well. The government have used her so much, especially during the Boko Haram problems in Maiduguri and some other places. You operate that helicopter, to do a lot of exploits.
Prophet Michael Lawal urged young ladies who are idle to learn from the legacy of the late Tolulope and become useful to the country. Abiola Alafe reporting for Clever News.
And on the foreign scene, a 6-year-old boy is currently under investigation for his alleged role in the death of a premature newborn after he was reportedly left to wander unsupervised at a hospital's maternity unit. The fatal incident took place at the Jean de Flandre Children's Hospital in the northern city of Lille, France, where the baby girl, Zainab Cassandra, had been placed in a neonatal unit following her birth at 7.5 months, according to sources. She was the first child to a 23-year-old woman and was said to have been delivered by a cesarean section earlier this month. According to reports, the delivery went very well, but the little girl was premature and had to be taken to a neonatal unit while her mother remained in a maternity ward. The young boy, who was already reported as a disruptive presence in the hospital, was found alone with the unconscious baby last Friday. According to the investigating officials, the baby suffered a traumatic brain injury after the young boy allegedly treated her like a doll and dropped her on the floor. Despite being rushed into intensive care, the baby was declared dead. And that's the news. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Have a wonderful weekend.